So good morning everyone. So if you are now watching this video, I hope that you will stay tuned up to the last second. For today, I will be discussing about implementation and evaluation of a relevant and responsive curriculum for the 21st century. First of all, I would like to give thanks to Sir Laktam for this opportunity. And also, I'd like to congratulate my fellow educators who are now watching this video. I hope that you will stay tuned up to the last second. So let's start. So, since there are a lot of subtopic under the evaluation and implementation of the 21st century curriculum, I will just be focusing on the number 5 subtopic because number 4, 1 to number 4 was already discussed by my fellow group mates. So, I will just be focusing on number 5, which is using data and informed evidence to inform curriculum decisions. So, data, when we talk about data, these are facts and statistics collected for reference and basis. So data is not only limited on, this is also used in statistics. Usually statistics is another branch of mathematics that deals with collection, interpretation, analysis, and interpretation of data. So this data, it can be a quantitative and a qualitative data. So when we talk about quantitative data, these are purely numerical data, right? That is used in statistics. For example, the IQ level of the students, the comprehension score of the students, the grades. While the qualitative data, these are data that are not in numerical data, in a form of numerical data. For example, the explanation of a certain student in a certain issue. So that is not a qualitative data, but those data can be used also to interpret a certain situation, Though that can be used for also as a basis in making decisions. So next, we have process in gathering data. So if we have now the data, the very main question is how the researcher was able to gather it. So we have the different processes, as a source of data. So first, we have the observation method. So when we talk about observation method, this is the process where we're obtaining the data just by observation, So this is the researcher himself, observer, was just by looking was able to gather the data, So, say for example, you want to gather as data on what will happen if a certain place will be under attack by kanang MILF, So you want to see the actual photos of that. So if you're going to observation method, can help you, So you just go to the area, then actual shooting, then you have there, you will be recording, or you can take pictures, videos, depending on your favorable option that can you make as a researcher, to record the whole event, others also just by jotting down notes while watching the video, but for more references for you also to visit anytime kung which part of the situation which is not unclear for you, so it's better to take video and pictures, second way of gathering data is survey method, So survey method, this is usually done by the PSA, Philippine Statistics Authority, gathering information about the population itself, just giving questions. If you want to determine the ages of these people in this certain area, so you're just giving the survey questionnaire, giving to the people or the community itself. You can also done survey method in giving questions, test questions to the students if you want to study about the competency of the students itself. So just giving survey questionnaires, that's it. So when you're done, and that's good, Next, we have the experimental method. So this experimental method is usually in the field of sciences and medical, And usually experimental method is observable and medical because they will be experimenting which is better. So for example, this animal will be applied by this serum, and this second animal will be applied by this serum. So which applicable with which of these medicines will be more effective, depending on the dosage and the type of animal which they are going to apply it. But experimental method also is not also limited in medical fields also. It can be also used in research. For example, you want to research of which teaching strategy is better. The traditional one, lecture method, or this is the another method. So you need to select a group and then you need to divide it by two. Set the first group as the control group and the other group, the group that are going to present the new techniques. So there, and that is what we call experimental method. Then after that, you will get the scores. You want to get the comprehensive score of those students, and then you will correlate. And after that, you will get the result, correlation result. If there is really a big difference between the two processes in teaching them. But experimental method this time is not really advisable. It is because you will be prohibiting the controlled group of experiencing the new trends, the new trends in solving such problems. For example, you will be giving your topic is on about mathematics, and you will be solving just by making katong mga square, factoring polynomials using chips. So ug dili mo na itudlo if you are not going to introduce it to the control group, they will be imo silang gi-prohibit in embracing the new technique in solving such problems, and dili siya advisable. So kung mag experimental method magaling ka and using such pamaagi, the best way is to teach them the ancient way, lecture method lang pak, then you will get the score, and then introduce the new technique in solving, then exam na pod, So that's the advice, when I was still a student. So next we have evidences. So when we talk about evidences, these are artifacts or documents to prove someone's claim, So it is that will make your statement more believable if you have the evidence to support to it, So we must always remember that anyone can make an opinion, and all opinions are equal with the absence of its evidence. So if we're going to make a statement and we don't have anything to support with it, so that is equal to others' opinion. Bot pasabot patas sa kita tanan, So it's better that when we're going to claim that this must be done, this is true, it must be supported with the data and the evidences, that supports your claim, so that your claim will be a concrete claim, wala dili yun siya mabasta-basta lang maparog, So evidence used in assessment must be valid, reliable, authentic, current, and sufficient. So even if you have this evidence, you have the evidence, and that evidence lack the characteristic of being valid, reliable, authentic, current, and sufficient, there is a big tendency that it will be void. It will not be carried as valid, So when we talk about valid, that evidence, does it assess what we want to assess? That's the question when we talk about validity. Does it assess? Nakukuha ba niya ang ininanais nating kunin? Say for example, we have our questionnaire. Does our questionnaire really ask what we want to have? Makuha ba sa questionnaire ang atong gusto? For example, you want the age or the performance of the students, naa ba dito nga ibutang lang ng performance? Pag wala, it's not valid. Is it reliable? Okay. The process in obtaining such questions, such data, wala ba na siya magic, basibag there is what we call falsification of public documents. And also, simple, these are the groups, these are the average you have get, and in order for them not to be on with the result, you need to enhance it, improve it, add some points with everybody. And that makes the data unreliable already, So reliable talks about truthfulness, Authentic talks about originality itself. Current, napapanahon, So for example, you will be questioning about the new trends, and your data to support evidence was on the old times, So it's not current. And sufficient also. It must be exact. So for example, the evidence needed to make your claim true is a 4 to 5 number of evidences, and you only have 3. So that makes your claim insufficient. Your evidence is insufficient, no? So pwede na siya na to i-void ana, no? Dili ta mo to ana, it's because there is an insufficiency of the evidence itself. No, so total in doing such assessment, our questionnaire must be standardized also. So when we talk about standardized questionnaire, it undergoes rigid proofreading, correction, and also undergo pilot testing. Item analysis pa ng uban for us to be able that it is really standardized. Because if it is not standardized, then it is not worth in giving it as a tool, no? Tool in gathering such evidences. Next, we have the different types of evidences in assessment. So, since we are dealing in a classroom setting, no? So, and what are the evidences that we can gain in a classroom? So, first we have the GWA, or the general weighted average. So, this general weighted average, if you can say, this is the overall performance of a student in the school year. So, in the overall subject for every quarter, so we have the GWA, no? This GWA will determine the performance of our students, if it is good, very good, excellent, no? Whatever the remarks on that. Second, also we have the subject grades. So if you're going to look deeper for each subject, no? Asa man juning bataa day, which subject that this student is really excelled a lot. So you just need to look at in every subject, no? To which part of it, no? Second, we have the job placement rates. So job placement rates, this is only done by the researcher, usually in undergrad, no, in universities and colleges. If they want to really track about their graduates, kung asa na ilang mga graduates, are their graduates was successfully employed in the government offices or was it not? No, so depending, and these placement rates, they were able to research what really the public needs. Because if you're going continue making graduates about this course and the public doesn't need this anymore, then what you are releasing, what you are producing, the university is producing, has no use at all, no? So mo ni siya, this must be a reference of the universities and colleges who are continue producing graduates with the same courses, and yet the public doesn't need them, no? Job placement rates, this must be not overlooked. Second, we have the graduation rate. So graduation rate, no, another data type of data which I think is very important also. This talks about the survival rate of the students who enrolled from first year up to the last quarter of the fourth year, no? They were able to succeed. So if the graduation rate is very high, there are you can infer two things. It might be that the system was very easy, or it might be that the students were really brilliant, no? Really depending on the requirements also. Students publication and presentation, okay, no? So how, no, the students will be able to present themselves. Next, we have course passing rate. Okay, course passing rate. So if you have a high passing rate in that university, no, so if you are just if you are looking for some more marketing strategy, another way of marketing strategy is you just need to make your course passing rate very high, no? So that you will be known for the entire Zamboanga Peninsula or even in the world, if you wish to, no? So, dapat 100% passing rate from this school, no? So that's it. It's another way of data that is really a basis also. So next we have data-driven decision. Okay. So after getting all the data, after what you have done, and after what you have after what you have read, after what you have gathered, interpret, and analyze, this gives you a data-driven decision. So data-driven decision, it is a process that can transform classroom dramatically, improving teachers' effectiveness and responsiveness to students, saving teachers' time, and ensuring that classroom instruction is effective and efficient. So when we talk about data-driven decision, it's not just about the data, but it's all about the data that you have and what are the things you must do to make which corresponds to this data. What I'm trying to say is you have the data, and the very main problem, since you have that data, you need to make something or to make or to create something to improve something, to refine something in order to make that data improve or maintain, no? So that's it. Data driven decision, you're deciding a certain thing, no, with respect to the data you have. So that's it. So let's move on to number 6, evaluating the curriculum effectiveness and impact. So question. So when can we say, okay, we have curriculum evaluation, refers to an ongoing process of collecting, synthesizing, analyzing, and interpreting information to aid the students' understanding what can students know and can do. So for us really to determine if our curriculum is effective and it has a greater impact, so we must also have to evaluate it. So let's proceed. No? So curriculum evaluation must be gathered from a comprehensive assessment system that is designed for accountability and committed to the concept that students will achieve at high levels in standard-based and in informs decision which impact significant and sustainable improvements in teaching and students' learning. So whatever we do, no, teachers are held accountable of our students' learning, no? Because the question there is, what have you done as a teacher? If this is the performance of your student, what have you done? No? So if you have done all your efforts, then record it, no, for to support your claim. Kaning bata hagbong yun. No matter what I've done, all the interventions I already done it. But there is really something problem going on this child. That's why his performance is like this. So record it, no? Employ the concept of school-based management, no? We need to record all what we do and do what we record, no? That's it. So different types of curriculum evaluation. So ako na rin siyang giapil, no? Kay mahanging mangud siya. So we have formative evaluation. It occurs during the course of curriculum development, no? So formative evaluation, no? Just Second, we have summative evaluation. The final effects of program are based on the stated objectives. This formative evaluation, so it's just a little bit, it is something like formative assessment, no? Giving assessment to the students, oh, before the class, after the class, and during the class. While summative evaluation, no, summative assessment itself, no, pwede po siya after the quarterly, gini siya, quarterly, no? While diagnostic evaluation directs with to purposes placement of the students or to discover the underlying cause of deviances in students' learning in field of study. So when we talk about diagnostic evaluation, it will diagnose your student how far they have learned in these previous grades if you're going to look for the basis before your teaching. Gusto ka makabalo ba kung asa jud ka magsukad? So you need to give a diagnostic test to your students, no? So and you find it nga kulang, so diri ta mo atras ta daan. We must not touch with the first quarter, diri ta mo balik ta gamay, no? And also for you to be able to find the underlying problem. So for every attitude of the students which is unpleasant or performance which is not really satisfying, there is really an underlying problem behind it. So it might be there are a lot of factors, no? It might be that it is a family factor, financial factor that affects the students, no? Because even though 80% or something what 70% of their time was, no, in school, you can't really assure that they are also 100% onto the class because of some factors. And that factors is really a lot, no? Daghang kay na siya. So it might be financial, family problem, no? Environmental factors. So that affects really their performance, no? So daghan pa jud na siyang kuanon. So when can we say that the curriculum is effective? Okay, this is the very big question that the higher ups must be looking at also, no? So when it addresses students' need, okay, If our curriculum address what our students need, their concerns and interests, developmental, emotional maturity levels, experiences, and current knowledge, no? If we can really help our student to the extent, no, that we can no longer help them because they are already equipped with everything that is necessary in living in this world and competing with others, then we can only say that that curriculum is effective, no? Daghan pa pong budare. So second, characteristic of an effective curriculum adapts to an evolving world. Our world is no, continue changing, and everything is changing. Yet our curriculum is also constantly changing. Oh, an effective curriculum must adapt with the present. No, it is a long-term plan. It is not just about giving this curriculum for this year. No, it's not that. We must plan for a long-term plan so that our students will be able to compete not only in local but also, if it is possible, why not in international, no? So that's it. Adapts to an evolving world. Anyway, um, learning is a continuous process, no? So hindi man yan natatapos. So our curriculum also must be able to adjust and adapt to the evolving world. Karon, we are in the 21st century and we're embracing the presence of technology. So it's better that our students will not be arrogant with technology itself. So we must equip them with the basic skills and knowledge with technology. So that they will not be behind, no? Second, contain research-based teaching techniques. So when we talk about research-based, so this undergoes rigid research. Is this teaching technique true? No? Is this teaching technique also really applicable in this type of area? So it must undergo research. And after it is proven statistically that it is true and it is really good in using and effective and efficient in teaching, then proceed. No? And if it is not, then we need to revise or find another ways, no, to make teaching and learning more possible. No, encourages collaboration. No, so mula gini, no man is an island, and everything must collaborate with itself. No, that is why to exist is to coexist. Oh. That's why in order for our curriculum to be an effective one, so it must collaborate, no? Collaborate with anything that it can help also. Lahat matutulungan ba? Second, meets the needs of the students. Oh, moto ganina, no? What are the needs of the student? Concerns, interests. So if it satisfies the student itself, then it is an effective curriculum. No? Establish quantifiable objectives. No? So we have our objectives because, oh my God, no? Selling without a compass, no, is a dead mission. What I'm trying to say is we must to have our objective for us to have our targets. So dapat meron tayong target talaga so that we can point our compass there and straight to it, no? We can point kung saan tayo patutungo there talaga, no? So I guess I have enough. So thank you for tuning in. Thank you for staying to the second of this presentation. I'm not the best of this, but really I'm trying my best to explain to you some sort of nuggets of information which I think is important also. I know that you already have learned something, and I hope that I have also imparted something. So thank you everyone for listening, and thank you for your patience. God bless us all.